Your passion for fitness. Where does that come from?
My passion for fitness, I grew up with a pretty active family, but the most defining moment probably was coming to Western for college and gaining the freshman 15, 20, 25. And realizing that wasn't the path I wanted to stay on. And so I plugged in at the fitness center there on campus, which was fairly new at that point, Preston Center, and basically was there every time the doors were open. And one nice person said to me, "You're here all the time, why don't you start teaching?" And so I got certified in 1998. Okay. Haven't looked back.
And was your degree in exercise phys, or what was your degree in?
I attribute what I'm doing today to being a teacher. So I think that I'm just a teacher by nature. I think God has given me that gift. I went to school and ended up with elementary education degree.
Okay, good choice. Good choice. So you taught for a couple of years?
Mm-hmm. Taught for a few years. Then we got pregnant with our first kiddo and knew that the plan was for me to stay at home and raise Ross. And so I had never not worked. So being a mom was great, but I still felt like I needed to be plugged in somehow. And I never gave up teaching at local gyms. So I'd always continued teaching fitness classes even when I was teaching school and even after having him. And but then one day, a Stroller Fit, own your own business franchise card came in the mail. And so I thought, well, that's perfect, being a stay-at-home mom. And so I started a Stroller Fit franchise and pushed that kid around, skipping and jumping and hopping. And
so you're going to do it anyways.
Yeah, right. So I got to plug in with other women in the same season of life. It was just a big blessing. Then we had our youngest son with special needs, and so his therapy appointments just trumped me going and teaching those classes. So I sold that franchise and started my focus with Owen.
And at what point with Owen did you become aware that this is different?
Something was off. Owen was around between 4 and 6 months old. That's kind of a blur. I wish I would have kept better documentation, but between 4 and 6 months old, we realized something was off. We saw a different pediatrician. Ours was out of the office, and she said, have you thought about seeing First Steps? And so early intervention, and we hadn't. We just thought Owen was just this quiet, laid-back kid. And so we did. We reached out to First Steps, and it was a game changer. They just surrounded us, plugged us in with resources and therapists and outlets of where we could get help for him. Okay. You want to take a time out? Yeah. Can you go put her in the garage?
Yeah, but I can shoo her off.
Hey, you're not welcome here for many reasons.
She comes sit in my lap.
Go.
They always know.
Go.
Something about this one in particular.
Go.
Yeah, that's right. Let me get over there and rub on her ankles.
Go.
She's going to come back. You're going to have to put her in the garage.
You think? Come on.
Maybe not. Maybe she'll stay under a...
Come on.
You could hear them yelling.
I heard that and I was like, wait.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
At least the lawnmower stopped.
Does he not like to pick them up?
She is a strange cat.
Okay.
She probably needs medical attention, actually.
Is she the one that was ran over last?
Yeah.
Come on.
She fixed herself. Mm-hmm.
Come on.
She got ran over.
Yeah, I did it. It was awful.
In here.
Her leg.
Oh,
Yeah,
He picked her up.
he did.
Yeah.
He's like,
kind of awkwardly.
He'll probably go wash his hands.
so I think it's really funny that our neighbor's over there washing his house, because that's what Raji did all day long yesterday.
Stay in.
All right. Well, surely she got the hint.
Oh.
Is she coming?
How's it, Nick? It sounded good though? Yeah. Oh, okay. So it looks good, sounds good.
We're on a roll here.
So far, so good. Little kitty break.
That's right.
You're still rolling, right? Yep.
Oh.
All right. All right. So Owen's on the scene, and you have Ross, who is
Now
4.
16. Oh, yeah, at that point, 4 years old.
So you have Ross, who's 4.
Right.
You have Owen,
Who's just a baby, and we're realizing that something's not quite right. And man, the ball just started rolling, and it was instantly to doctor's appointments and therapist appointments, and it's so normal to us now that it's almost hard to go back and even remember how that all worked, because we have a problem and we just tackle it. So it was, okay, if he needs to go to this doctor, then off we go. And then it was to go to another appointment. Then, okay, what about this therapist? And so our life just became really scheduled, and got just really great people on our team to help him. So, but we then quickly had to realize, how do you have an older child that still needs lots of love and attention and time and energy, and he's going and sitting in doctor's appointments and loves his brother, but still, you know, you're dragging him everywhere. So we had to learn how to have that balance.
Hey. Break.
Yeah, you really good gripper.
I'll get her.
Yes, you do.
I'll get her this time.
Yeah, no, she's like,
She's mental.
really is.
Come on. Let's go get in the garage. Yeah. You keep coming out. So we're going to have to put you in the garage.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Look, she'll find a way. Look at how weedy it is under there.
Yeah, it's
It's pretty deep.
nobody looks under
No.
We're about 3 or 4 feet deep.
Yeah, probably 4 feet, I'd
Are you
say.
allergic to? No, you guys have a dog, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, she's a, you know, she doesn't shed.
Hypoallergenic.
So when Dad told Natalie she could have a dog, I
She
was
asked.
the only girl. You
Always
know?
wanted a dog for years.
So I was like, look, if we're getting a dog, it's
But
gotta be,
the girl asked.
it's
Yeah.
got to be hypoallergenic.
Yeah.
So
I just said, sure.
not
what kind
allergic
you
to
want.
That's right. Dear, you just go pick it out.
yeah, which kind do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now she's asking for a bunny. I'm kind of wondering where this is going to go.
She's asked you.
Oh, she didn't ask you. For
Oh.
it. There.
She hasn't learned the way it works yet.
Not yet.
This would be a great backyard to keep our bunny in.
Mm,
Not at your house.
Be a
yeah,
great pet to have, as long as it's not at our house.
that's exactly right.
So we were on Ross
Ross.
and balancing that. Yeah.
So,
I'll have to tell his piggy bank story. Roll on.
Roll.
So, in having an older son that's seen therapists come in, and you know, us pain therapists, and the biggest aha moment for me, and are we doing a good job juggling this, is when he came out with his piggy bank and said how much for me to pay for Miss Erica to play with me. Then we realized, okay, he's 4 and he sees this as playtime, and so we've got to make sure that, you know, he is getting extra attention, and we just talk to him all the time and explain to him, you know, what was going on, and really tried. When we went to therapy appointments that weren't at our home, then took a football to, you know, go out in the parking lot and throw with him, or took something to do with him in the waiting room that was just our time. So
And him being around Owen has made him the person that he is becoming and is now, and just he loves his brother. You know, Ross just loves.
they have
Owen,
quite a
and
relationship.
He's helped us so much. You know, so much that we don't always realize it. I think he's sort of like a third parent.
Yeah, he really is.
So it's been a blessing.
and you think, is that where this idea of crazy, busy moms or dads who are pouring into somebody else all the time, but recognizing you have to take time for yourself as well?
Right. Yeah. I think it really became natural. We were always active. You know, we even with Owen's inability to sit up well or to do the things that he should have been doing at his age, we still found ways to get active. So we had him in a stroller, and we were out running and walking and participating in 5Ks.
And a bike stroller.
Yeah, put him in a bike stroller once he had that trunk
Yeah.
control. We stayed active, so it was just like that is a component we didn't want to let go of. It's really taken me, he's 12 years old now, it's taken me this long to put the pieces together and to see that other families are struggling with that. And I get the struggle, because even as a fitness coach and an active family, I still struggle to get in my own workouts because I'm there coaching other people. And so that's always a balance issue. So it just hit me that, wait, we're all saying as special needs parents, we've got to live forever. And we've got to, I can't get sick. No parent has time to get sick, But a special needs parent for sure can't be down because we've got to give them the extra care they need. So that's when the special needs mom movement came into the scene.
So what was that moment? Was that a
It's a goose-
progression of things, or was that kind of an aha moment, or at what point did you have this idea that, hey, I have this need myself, maybe other people need it as well?
It's been a progression.
Yeah, it has been a progression. It's been a progression of me feeling the push to help in a different way. And it's just this, what I don't like to talk in negatives, but a burden, this weight that I knew I was supposed to be stepping out in a different way. And so I just kept pushing on. I kept just talking things out. And I did start a group for women back at the end, or actually at the beginning of this year, that was just for women needing help with balance in their lives. And quite honestly, I questioned myself, was I the right person to do that? And then I think that's really when the ball started rolling, and recognizing that, gosh, I have had to learn how to balance and depend on, ask for help from, he's automatically a helper anyway, but, to look at the support that I have to say that, okay, this is how we have found balance in our lives. I can help other people, special needs or not. And then it was several months into working with that group that it hit me, maybe after talking to another special needs mom and hearing somebody else say, we got to live forever. And that's all in ha ha ha, knowing we can't, but knowing we feel like we need to. Mm-hmm. Looking into the financials, we don't want to burden our oldest son with having to care, completely for Owen. So how can we ease that burden off of him? It was just all of this at one time, and then it was just this light bulb moment that I still get goosebumps over. I have got to help. As a fitness coach and special needs mom, I have got to advocate for these moms, because we're advocating for our kids. Who's advocating for the parents, but specifically as a mom for the moms?
And these moms can relate so much more to you because you're going through it than another mom who isn't going through exactly what you're going through.
Right.
I think there's something honest about recognizing and being transparent that I don't have all the answers.
No.
But
I sure will help find them
as much as I can.
Right. And really, this group, the Special Needs Mom Movement group, is more of a safe spot where I want to show folks that, here's the workout that we're going to do today. I'm like a personal trainer right there in this private membership group, that the workouts don't last much more than 5 or 6 minutes. Should they want to repeat it and get a longer workout? Absolutely. But I'm showing them these small workouts that are going to be beneficial for anybody. But it's so easy for a special needs mom to say, I don't have any extra time. But wait, you got 5 minutes, Mama. Let's do this while the coffee. This morning's workout was While the Coffee Brews was the name of the workout. So by the time the coffee was done brewing, I had our workout finished.
So can you explain to us, it's a special moms movement, but it's an online subscription they join, and then you join this group and you get on, and what do you expect every day when you get online?
So basically in the Special Needs Mom Movement, at this point, it's a Facebook group. And upon registering and subscribing to the group, you're placed in that Facebook group. Every single week you get a challenge to focus on. Just something that we all need to be, as humans, focusing on for good health. So it might be this week you're going to focus on drinking half your body weight in water. It might be getting outside and soaking up some vitamin D and, just taking your shoes off and grounding. Just basic weekly challenges that anybody needs. But then at least 3 times a week, I am in that group doing workouts with them. And they can jump on live, or they can do it at their own, or their own time that works for them.
Do you have a set time every day, or you schedule it?
We're still working out the details on that. This week I've done them at the exact same time, 3 days. It's always going to be at the same time, but we changed that up. Before that, it's been different times throughout the week. There's so much more that I want to do. We're still in the beginning phases. I think I'm learning just as much by doing this group. I'm learning how to reach the people best, how to, what do you need from me? How can I help? And so I'm reaching out to professionals that can talk to us about the needs that we have, the struggles that we have, reaching out to other people to pull in their gifts to help these moms.
And so And Special Needs Mom, is that the name of it?
Special Needs Mom Movement.
Okay. So Special Needs Mom movement that puts structure in a process, some accountability. Almost it's a group fitness, but therapy, and hey, someone that's going through the same thing that I'm going through.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is, like I said, it's still evolving at this point. I have big dreams for what I want to do with it, and
We don't know where it's going to go.
right. I'm allowing myself to baby step into this and letting them know everybody that's in the group right now is a founding member, and we're kind of figuring this out together. I do believe that my 20 plus years of fitness coaching and this kiddo that we were given 12 years ago, those stories go together somehow, and to really recognize and say, you know, we've got all kinds of local special needs moms that I've met on this journey, but they're also in California, and they're also in Michigan, and they're all over. And I want to say, hey, let's really start a movement here. Let's think differently. Let's get ourselves back on our priority list. Let's say it's okay for me to say, okay, I'm going to get up 30 minutes earlier. Can you get the kids out of bed while I get my workout in, or my lesson in for the day, whatever it is.
Right.
And you really don't know of any other group that's out there that's like this?
No, I have seen one lady that is specifically targeting or calling out to the special needs parents.
Great.
If you get online and you search special needs and fitness, you're going to get great ideas for ways you could plug your special needs child into some type of fitness program. But nobody's saying, hey, Mom, there's a lot of support groups. I think we've seen over the years coffee hours and different things. But to find time to really go and do that is tough, to really say, yeah, I'm
You've
going to
got
take an
therapy
hour.
appointments to go
Right.
to.
This they can
and-
do right in their home.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And Owen has been in some of the videos to show them that, look, your kid's laying on the floor, you're doing push-ups and kissing them on the forehead, or, tickling them.
Sweet.
And so to show that it can be a family that, the videos right now are in my home or out in the yard or at a park. And so I'm trying to show
It's
them
real.
that it's real life here. I'm just a real person. And I just want to use the gifts I feel like God's given me to teach, to help other people, and specifically these special needs moms.
So what do these special needs moms look for on Facebook? Or just go right under search for Special Needs Mom Movement?
So we have the Special Needs Mom Movement Facebook page. That's
Okay.
just information. I'm just sharing some, little tips and articles that I come across. And then once, if they're on that page and they like what they see, then they can join the tribe, the Special Needs Mom Movement tribe. And then that's a subscription group, and that's a private closed group.
Allison, tell me the role Raji's played in all of this.
So I knew from the get-go Raji was going to be a great dad. I just had no concerns. Raji is just in nature, he has always said, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. He just has a servant's heart, and we have this joke at our house that I'm always volunteering him for things, because somebody will say they need something done, and I say, well, Raji can do it. Raji can do that. And that really sums my husband up. He's on my team. Our family is a unit. We got baptized together before we got married, and I think that sealed what we were building this family on. And our faith has just grown tremendously. But it's probably like most partnerships and marriages, as you have kids, it's when I'm reached my point of I don't have any more patience for the day, he's always able to pick up, and vice versa. He's definitely the more patient one out of the two of us. He's just the rock. And when I say that, I'd really like to go on our 15th anniversary to a Christian retreat, a marriage retreat, he's all in, and he's in for what makes us better. He's supported boot camp that I, have here locally beyond the Special Needs Mom Movement, and what I love to do. It was sure use our yard and have people come over. He's always been my biggest supporter for all of the crazy dreams that I have, and parent. Just as I started with, he is a hands-on dad.
Very cool. And Raji, as I think as any couple needs to take time for themselves, I can only imagine when you have a special needs child and all the demands that has, then you really need to be intentional about it when you may have the least amount of time and ability to do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
how do you find that balance?
Well, for the longest time, we've slacked a little bit recently, but we would plan, instead of Christmas gifts for each other, we would plan dates for each other for the next year. So she would pick out 6 months out of the year, and I would pick out 6 months out of the year, and we'd have one date a month, basically. We'd get out more often than that, but that was the targeted time that we, tried to focus on just us. But, it takes the whole village, to help us get to where we need to be. We have parents that support us, and Grandma comes sometime and help with Owen, and now Ross, being 16, he's again like a third parent, and he can just jump in and help take care of him, and we try to get out and get us time. But it is difficult, especially with a special needs child that needs your attention. And those special need parents that may see this video know that they many times have far more severe needs than we are experiencing. So it's
a challenge, I think, for any parent. It's real easy to get lost in the parenting role, and I got to get this kid to this sports event. It's tough for any parent, but in the special needs world of therapies and doctor's appointments, and you can't just say, I need a babysitter, and just anybody come over and take care of your kids. And so it takes a little more creativity, and date night sometimes, or simply sitting on the back porch, just saying, hey, Ross, you be in here while, maybe Owen's already gone to bed, and we're just going to go hang out on the porch.
We also have some other resources. Some girls that work with Owen some come over, and like on Wednesday nights we will go to small group, and she'll be here. And then, like Allison said, sometimes we'll just say, you know what, we're going to skip small group tonight, and we're going to sit out on the back porch.
Good for you.
So.
Yeah. Raji, speaking of Ross, because we've known you guys forever. Our kids, our oldest boys grew up together. And from our perspective, you make it look easy. We know you as Raji and Allison and Ross and Owen, and we're aware there's something going on there. But from the outside looking in, and I hesitate to even say this, but it looks easy, but I know it's not.
No, I think we all as humans tend to see that other couple that's doing whatever it is, their life, and think, gosh, they got it made. But I think being in the position that we're in, we know that that's not true. Everybody's got something going on in their life that's, not what they want it to be. And it's not easy, but we're not the type of couple that dwells on the negative. We take what's been given to us and, for lack of better words, tackle it head on and move forward in a positive way, and just feel like that's a much better way to tackle it than to just wallow in the negative.
I think too, that is the thing. We are so very similar as far as our work ethic, and we both just are pretty focused people, and so almost to the point of we wish so we could shut off a little bit.
Sometimes you need to breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have
down.
to remind ourselves. And so I think that, I don't remember what your exact question was now that I'm...
Well, we're talking about how you make it look easy.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking on the how we make it look easy, we've had other people tell us that before, and where that's when you're just doing, most people are just getting through every day, doing their lives, and we choose to do it with a smile on our face. We are solution people. We're not going to just sit with this problem and just worry over this problem. We're going to take action on whatever it is. And so because of that, we're always going, we're always moving, we're always seeking out answers. And But it isn't. We don't have a lot of struggles because we found the help and the support. I think it doesn't feel terribly hard, and Owen is just crazy happy kid. So if he were more challenging, it would be more challenging, of course. But there is a lot more on our plate. But it's just in perspective, I think.
And is that part of the important piece of what you want to share? Is that from the outside looking in, that's an incredible asset to bring to the table for somebody who is going through a similar situation, who is caught up in the urgent, maybe non-important stuff. Not that it's not important, but just the day-to-day trench warfare that we all plug through with kids. But when you have a special needs child in there, that seems to be something that you guys can bring to the table, that unique perspective.
If a special needs parent is struggling with finding joy, I'm sure that there are many that are depressed, that don't have support. For those people, I want to say, push on. There is another way to do this. Sometimes just changing our perspective, hearing from somebody else to just give you a little bit of a kick in the tail, or just a different way to look at things. I really want to be somebody that encourages. We are just more positive thinking people. And so I do struggle with come on, I do it. I say it. You've got this, but I want them to want it for themselves too.
Believe it.
Yeah. And sometimes when you're down in the depths of it, it's hard to, and we've had our moments in that. It hasn't been. I mean, there's been many, many, many late nights of searching on a computer. Could it be this diagnosis? Could it be this? And still not getting answers, but yet still needing to show up for our other sons, still needing to show up for each other, still needing to show up for our jobs and for the people that we love and are around. And so, it's just remembering to show up for yourself, show up for your child, but just change your perspective sometimes.
That's an important part of recognizing as a caregiver that the caregiver needs to be taken care of as well.
The caregiver needs care.
Yes. And you're in a unique situation, parents who are like you, where we look at a window of time with our kids, and our responsibility at some point, maybe it doesn't go away completely, but it certainly diminishes greatly. Whereas you're not looking at 10 or 15 years. This is not your lifetime, it's Owen's and Ross's lifetime.
Right.
How do you plan for that?
Well, thankfully, one of us is more of the think ahead, financial planning.
That's been a big struggle for me, and for us. But from the financial side of it, thinking, okay, I know that I'm not going to be on this earth for forever, and most likely, Owen's going to outlive both of us, and so then he has his brother that he can be with, but we know eventually that his brother may not even be here. And to think of...
Stop a second. You want to wait?
We got kitty cats.
Yeah.
We got helicopters.
We're right by the airport. I thought what you were saying was good, so I didn't like it. Are you like allergy crazy right now?
Mostly just because I've been sitting silent.
I thought maybe the cat, the pollen.
All right, we're ready?
We're ready.
Let's give it still chilling.
Okay.
And the scooter.
That's a sick car, I think.
Okay, we should be good.
Okay. So to think of, your child being with someone else other than you, and your child that has special needs, that was weighed heavy on my heart. So, just did some research, talked to a financial counselor, and We now have some things in place that, you know, financially, it may still be that he's with someone that's not family.
But planning ahead is that, and then it's talking real talk to our son, or to Ross, our oldest, and saying, you know, we want you to have your life and to do all your things, and you know, he knows that we're not going to live forever, and you know what he says, because he's just an amazing kid. He says, you know, I'll take care of him, but there's not a lot of support, and I'm kind of a let's get through this school year, or let's get through this summer, or whatever the season is. I do know that there's big picture thinking to be done, but once you're out of high school, the special needs world is kind of unknown. You don't have the school support. You don't have as many options, it seems. We're not there yet. So to navigate all of that is a little bit scary to think ahead. And, you know, we know that we are not going to be 18 and out the door you go. We're gonna have a different lifestyle. We probably won't be ever empty nesters per se. Our hope is we're never gonna
limit.
Yeah, we want to believe that Owen's gonna have a bright future and maybe be independent one day.
Yeah.
He has just wowed us with some of the things that he is able to do now, and so yeah. I think the future's bright for him for sure, but it can be scary for the parents thinking ahead.
Speaking of Ross, Allison, in one word, describe Ross.
Oh. I don't know that I can do it. In one word, describe Ross. He's just special. He's absolutely special. I've had a little old lady that lived across the street from us when he was born, and she came over probably the day we got home from the hospital and held him, and she said, he's beyond his age, he's beyond his years. And you know, you just kind of, but he really is. He is so very mature, so very responsible. He's just he's really a great kid, and this life that he's living with this brother has, I think, given him an advantage. As crazy as that sounds, we all see life so totally different, and Owen has slowed us down quite a bit. We really enjoy our time together. We celebrate every little thing, like taking a bottle cap off of a bottle, the things that, you know, typical the parents with typically developing children, just, of course, that's just the next step, but we celebrate everything, and Ross is right there too. He puts him to bed every night with us. He will not let him leave the house in the mornings without hugging his neck. They are just best friends.
Yeah.
And Owen just adores him. He is a special kid.
Okay, cool. Raji, how about you? In one word, can you describe Ross?
Again, that's difficult, but I would say dependable. You know, he's just in all aspects of life, he's there. You can count on him.
Yeah. Ross really appreciates somebody's yes being their yes. He really appreciates real and true, and he just shows that, I think, in how he lives out his life. And I think that Ross's friends see Owen as, you know, that's Ross's little brother, that he's like any big brother. If his friends are over, he's going to be like, go on back and, you know, do your thing. But yet he isn't fussing at him. And it's not that.
Well, they still have their brotherly, you know, moments where they're not always happy with each other.
Hang on. Yeah, I need to paint that. We need to have real life too. It's not all roses and sunshine.
And I do want to, because we're about out of time, but I do want to make sure we touch on backyard boot camp.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that we have that. Breeze feels good.
That's
the same.
nice,
That's the
yes.
same helicopter coming back.
Is it really?
Maybe they're filming us.
Yeah.
Is that Sam up there?
That's the drone
The
view.
aerial view.
Paparazzi.
The cat came back twice. Might as well. The helicopter.
Yeah.
The cat did? Oh, the cat came back twice. The helicopter came
Yeah.
back twice.
We love Ross too.
Yeah. We always thought he's a great
It's
guy.
the same thing with your kids. You have fun, kids.
Yeah.
I miss our Little League baseball days.
I'm dropping him off to work the games now, and I'm like, that went by really fast for us.
You're not supposed to do
Maybe we can pick that up.
that. Okay.
Backyard boot camp. Tell us, give us the, what is backyard boot camp?
Oh, it's just a group of awesome people, and it's a community more than anything. We truly, it's just different. It's people cheering each other on. It's folks looking to make positive changes in their lives. I just really have a cool job, and I never dreamt it would be. It was just, hey, we've got this yard, and it's a wide open space, and
How many years ago was that?
that was in 2010. I shoot him this. Should I wait again? We're real close to the airport. What time is it?
224.
Oh, gee, yeah.
We gotta finish.
He'll be fine. I can wait on him a minute.
It's your day to pick up.
I know.
You get to do that.
That's the police copter there.
Evan, you gonna make it?
Oh yeah. If these keep flying over, I'll be good.
Okay, I'll talk fast on it.
That's all right.
He's out in the yard now, so he can get a up close view.
Mm.
Okay, we can pick
Started in 2010.
2010, Bowling Green Backyard Boot Camp started with just this idea and a few resistance bands. and a
Started right
supportive-
here, right?
here.
Right where
In
we're
this-
sitting.
in
Right,
this
Your
right here in
yard
the
right
side
here.
yard.
Yeah.
And how many classes did you offer then, and how many do you offer now?
In 2010, I think I offered 3 classes, and they were at 5:30 p.m. Actually, they might have just been 2 to start.
I think 2 per week to start.
6-week session. We still run classes in 6-week sessions, but we now have 15 plus classes a week.
Wow.
No longer in the yard. We're now in what I consider Bowling Green's backyards, being in Kiriakis Park and Covington Woods Park. We also have an indoor location for the months that we are not outdoors, and I just absolutely love it.
Nice. And so the special needs mom movement is maybe a cousin of Backyard Boot Camp?
Say
I
a
mean, it's still
cousin.
that community.
Oh, it's all about the community. We need community. I just love
Yeah.
community.
There's something about it. So much better than just going to the gym by yourself and
Right.
getting on a
Yeah.
treadmill.
That's one of the
I
key
have
elements of boot
participated-
camp.
I've participated in Backyard Boot Camp, and Allison is a true motivator. And you're just a light, and I think you're just the person to not only do Backyard Boot Camp, but to do this special mom's movement.
Thank you.
I think you're awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I
We
think you're pretty
appreciate what
awesome
you
too.
do.
Both of
Cool.
you.
All right, you guys go get Owen.
Okay.
We'll wrap
Go
up.
get our
Anything
crew.
anything that we didn't touch on that you want to make sure that we touch on?
No, I think you hit them
I
all.
think you got it. It's funny how, just side note, you probably should go get him. But it's funny how talking to you all the other day, like I just think this is the way God lines things up. But it's like you peeled back some layers from our discussion that really, because I don't know our life. I just have been like I've
just
never
do
been
it.
one to look ahead and make big plans. I know I want to be married, but it's not, like I don't know. I never was documenting, oh, here I am at this stage. And so like you asked some great questions that really pulled me back to say, gosh, because we already said it, we don't waller, we don't.
I think when Dan was sick, it was me. I just put my head down and I just
Right.
did what I had to get
Keep the
done.
legs pumping.
Yes.
And there was no other way,
Yeah.
I just had to do what.
And definitely faith plays a large part
Oh,
in that
goodness.
whole. I mean,
For
it's
sure.
it's the top, and
It's the
feeds
foundation.
down. Feeds down to all the rest.
I don't know how people go through
I don't either.
something like that or an illness without faith.
I don't.
No,
either.
but they do. And then,
I know people that are that way, family that are that way, and I'm just thinking, gosh, if you just
yeah,
had
we just want
Christ
you
in
to
your
know.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either spider
But
monkey.
you had I mean, there's always a concern, right? I don't think that you ever, at least based on the way that my sister and my family members that have had cancer, there's always I have to go back for the next test. And but something that I was reading the other day was about how many special needs parents truly, it's like PTSD. We are constantly, the stress levels for many of them, and we have it pretty easy. I truly do feel like, because Owen's happy, yeah, we have struggles, but anyway, the amount of stress, because when you push like that, there's hardly any paperwork that I even want to fill out anymore. I'm just like, here, because forever it was like another intake form, another form that it's almost like I never knew about burnout, like to the point that you couldn't bounce back. But I mean, like, I really am like, will you just call and will you just, so.
Sure do.
Yeah,
And there's
absolutely.
so many,
Yeah,
and
Roger
there's so
can do that.
many
Roger.
special needs parents who there's just one of them. you know,
Exactly.
and they
I
don't have
cannot
the
imagine.
support
Yeah.
of another
'Cause
person.
That's a strain. That's got to be a strain on relationship.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, raising what normal may not be the right word, but regular kids.
Yes.
I mean, that has its own challenges
And
and
you have
strains.
right, and you have more than two, and so you've got to be in all different kinds of places. It has strained us. Then working together, having Owen at home half the day or at therapy half the day. There's a lot to that.
And then taking the love language test and seeing that your number one is her
Her
number
number five.
5 and
Yeah.
her number 5
We
is
just
your
retook
number
them
1.
last week, and I'm like, we've got to do something. We got to tap back into that love language stuff. And so,
Yeah.
so guess what? Then he was like, knowing that I needed a little affirmation or whatever. So he was like, thanks for getting up and sending that email. He didn't even know what was in the email. And I'm like, now you're just being a jerk. Go get our kid.
Okay.
You're just being a jerk. are you? See.
You want to know
John
what his
is
are?
words of affirmation.
Okay.
Mine is physical touch.
Oh, yeah. Your number 2 is physical
Quality
touch.
time
Quality
is
time and
mine
physical
this
touch.
time.